What are the next steps after winning a lottery? What would you do if you won that much money? Would you quit your job, buy your dream house, go on a luxury vacation? There's no right or wrong way to spend your lottery winnings. It's all a highly personal decision. The post-lottery winning time is as hard, if not harder, than winning the lottery itself. You are at a higher risk of losing your money after you win it than you were before. So, to know the best things to do after winning a lottery, watch the video till the end. Remain anonymous if your state rules permit it. Everyone wants to be your friend when you're rich. You'll be harassed with aid requests from charities, long-lost friends and relatives, and the so-called financial experts who will want your business. The best way to avoid this is to remain anonymous. Winning lottery rules vary by state. In New York, for example, the winners' names are a public record. It may be possible to keep your identity private by setting up a trust or LLC to win elsewhere. In South Carolina, it is also possible to remain anonymous. Depending on where you purchase the lottery, prize winners have 180 days to 1 year from the drawing date to claim their prize. To find out what the state rules are and chart a course, and set themselves up to remain as anonymous as possible. See a tax professional before you cash the ticket. You can choose between taking the prize money all at once or taking it in 30 installments over 29 years as an annuity. Michael A. Kirsch, a financial planner in New York, says if you take all the money at once, you have to pay taxes on the entire amount immediately. But with an annuity, you are taxed as soon as you receive each payment. Those who have trouble controlling their spending may prefer the discipline of receiving money as an annuity. But this payout form has other drawbacks. You have to compare the annuity's effective yield to what you could earn by taking all at once, paying taxes, and investing the profit. Another thing to consider is whether taking an annuity will leave your family with no cash to pay estate taxes if you die before the 30-year term ends. People usually buy life insurance policies to cover the estate tax bill. You have 60 days from the time you claim your lottery prize to consider the pros and cons. In the meantime, ask advisors to crunch the numbers and help you decide which type of payment is best for you. Avoid sudden lifestyle changes. In the first 6 months of winning a lottery, don't do anything drastic like quit your job, buy a house in Europe, or buy a luxury car. Meanwhile, set aside a certain amount for spending. It's natural to want to celebrate your winnings. Save big purchases for later. For example, you can rent a house where you're considering moving before making any commitments. If you need a new car, buy a budget model for now. Use the money to make you more money. You can have a nice one later. It's okay to wait. Pay off all your debts. There is no better investment than paying off debts. Whether it is credit card or a mortgage, your return rate equals the loan's interest rate. With today's terribly low profits on relatively secure investments like CDs and treasuries, this is especially true. When you've paid down $1 of debt, that's $1 you no longer owe. When you invest $1, you can't be sure whether it will grow or shrink. Paying off your debts will help you to think of a better plan with your money. You will no longer have any pressure on your shoulders. Assemble a team of legal and financial advisors. When you suddenly have a lot of money, it is challenging to know who is trying to help you and who is trying to use you. Rather than signing up to a group of advisors chosen by someone else or a company, it is recommended you choose your own lawyer, accountant, and investment advisor and have them work together. Check each advisor carefully before discussing your situation. Check the broker's records with the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, as well as what type of clients they have and what their net worth is. For attorneys and insurance agents, see if any complaints have been filed with state disciplinary authorities. If you live in a small community and don't want the lawyers there to know about your business, find a professional in the nearest big city. The team you put together will act as your board of directors. You can start by creating a long-term financial plan with a fee-only advisor and running it by the group for feedback. Once you decide on a plan, they can provide checks and balances on each other. You can ask one of them to take lead, coordinating the group effort. That person can also play the bad guy, refusing requests from people or organizations for gifts you don't want. Start an emergency fund. Setting aside an emergency fund may not seem like a priority when you're swimming in money. However, it is still important. No matter how carefully you spend, you're still vulnerable to unforeseen circumstances or disasters that could wipe out the majority of your earnings. By setting aside an emergency fund, you'll have peace of mind knowing that you have a safety net that will protect you if things go bad. Consider setting aside at least 6 months' worth of living expenses in a high-yield savings account. This type of account helps you grow your savings at a slightly faster rate than a traditional savings account, but still gives you quick access to emergencies. Remember, we live to secure our future. Create a budget to manage the money. As plenty of rich people will tell you, the secret of being rich is spending less than you earn and making your money work for you, not the other way around. You may think you have more money, but lottery winners regularly go bankrupt because they had no structure when dollar signs filled their eyes. Chuck Mariucci, Senior Vice President at Fort Pitt Capital Group, says advocates stick to a budget just like you did when you were rubbing 2 nickels together. Even if you've got a lot of cash flow, it is still essential to build a foundation and stick to a budget. Determine how much can be spent on monthly expenses, how much to save, and how much can be allocated to a discretionary fund. Creating and maintaining a budget is one way to succeed and ensure that the money lasts longer than the excitement of when it comes into your life. Take steps to protect assets. People who have a lot of money should be wary of losing their assets. This includes everyone from disgruntled spouses and ex-spouses to anyone who could win a case against you. If people think you have deep pockets, they may look for a reason to sue. If you win the Powerball, everybody's going to lie down in front of your car so they can sue you. It's wise to make sure you're not an easy target. The best defense is to build various roadblocks that make it difficult, if not impossible, for creditors to reach your money and assets. These asset protection strategies, as they are called, can range from relying on state law exemptions to creating multiple barriers through using trusts and family limited partnerships or LLCs. It may be possible to rely on various techniques separately or in combination with each other. Set aside money for retirement. If you win the lottery, retirement can start today. Nevertheless, it is still important for you to set aside money for your later years. The younger you are, the more you need to save. From this point of view, you should consider the cost of winning the lottery as a marathon, not a sprint. Work with your financial advisor to calculate exactly how much money you need to set aside for retirement. The amount will be partly determined by the lifestyle you want to have. Other factors include medical bills, the number of family members you support, and inflation. These will help you determine the best place to put your retirement savings, such as an individual retirement account or IRA, mutual funds, or other types of low-risk portfolios. Review your estate plan. In an ideal world, everyone should already have an estate plan that they review and update on a regular basis. This is especially important to do when triggered by a life event. Winning the lottery is exactly one of those triggers. An event as big as winning the lottery can cause you to rethink your estate plan completely because the size and complexity of your assets will likely vary greatly. You'll likely want to set up trust accounts to protect your assets better and coordinate the final distribution of inheritances to loved ones. The 2012 tax law provides more flexibility than before. As of 2016, each individual has a $5.5 million limit on tax-free transfers, which can be applied during life, when you die, or a combination of the two.